It should come as no surprise to this point when I say this, but yes, Arch Manning is the most hyped up recruit or college football player prospect of all time. And why is that? A lot of you want to say, oh, it's because of his last name. The only reason that Arch Manning has any hype at all is because of his last name. If his last name was Smith, he'd be playing second string at UL Monroe. This is obviously not actually true. It's a lazy, stupid take. Arch is so hyped up because he's got ideal size. He's got a big time arm. He's really, really athletic, and he's accurate. Arch Manning has all the tools to be an elite quarterback prospect for the NFL, but also an elite college football player. And if you think it's only the last name, why was Bronny James, LeBron James' son, if you can piece that together, why was he not the #1 overall recruit when he was coming out? It's because these sites don't base everything on a last name. Yes, the Manning last name holds so much prestige within football, from Archie Manning to Peyton Manning to Eli Manning. And even Arch Manning's dad, Cooper, was a really good receiver prospect who committed to Ole Miss and had to medically retire, if you don't know the lore behind that. But also, this is Arch Manning. Archie's a 75-year-old man. This is not Archie. But what it is the start of a career playthrough with Arch Manning here at the University of Texas. Of course, I am a massive Texas Longhorns fan, and Texas did lose a lot of talent. But even though there are new names at wide receiver, DeAndre Moore Jr. is a really solid #2. Ryan Wingo could emerge as the star. Former high 4-star, 5-star, depending on where you looked. Elite size, athleticism, ability in the open field. You got some fringe 4 or 5-star players in Khalil Lockett and Jamie French. There's a lot of talent on this team. It's just a bunch of younger players. So even though they lost a lot on the O-line and at receiver, this could be a bunch of guys just coming into their own at the right time. And I think Arch is the perfect man for the job to lead this team to a hopeful national championship. But the road is not easy. Starting against Ohio State on the road, week 1, there are not too many tougher draws in college football. They're #3 here in the game right now, but they're likely going to be the #1 team in college football at week 1. This is a tremendously difficult matchup for Texas, and we're going to see what ends up happening. Arch Manning, it's your first season as a full-time starter. What are you capable of? Well, the rain is coming down, so not exactly ideal conditions to... I mean, he's made starts before, but make your first start as the actual starting quarterback, not because of injury, not for any other reason, but just because you've earned this over being at Texas now. This is going into year 3 for Arch. So he, even as a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, is draft eligible. Will Arch decide to stick at Texas following this season? Will he declare for the NFL draft? What if the season is not nearly as good as some people would expect? Well, that will create a lot of interesting conversations as we approach, his potential decision to go pro or stick at Texas, as Texas will start with the football, and we will jump in Texas playbook. Arch Manning. We use this camera angle. Makes it feel a little bit more like we're actually playing as Arch Manning. Player lock is here. Play action. Kicking it out to the running back. That's a healthy C.J. Baxter. Would love to see that. He makes a man miss with a nice juke move. And that is a beautiful start for the Texas offense, as Arch just doesn't try to do too much. Just hits the flat. And one interesting thing about Arch Manning compared to, Quinn Ewers, is he's a really, really good athlete. So we might be able to get some design runs working in here and seeing how that works, as that RPO screen was read perfectly by Jermaine Matthews Jr. And this will be 3rd and 19. We're looking at Ryan Wingo on the slot fade. That's going to be the main read here. And unfortunately, didn't like it enough. We're just going to check down, play for 3. It's a little bit boring, I get it. But you've got to try and be smart in these situations. Not try to do too much. And, let your defense make some plays for you, as Texas does take a 3-0 lead, and the defense holds strong against the Buckeyes, as we'll try to eventually score a touchdown. Maybe it'll be on this drive. Quick little swing screen to CJ Baxter, and that's our #1 receiver right now. His second catch already for 30 yards. Unfortunately, looking at a 3rd and 13. Been tough to move the ball on the Buckeyes. As we're going to step up with Manning. He's got good speed, and he's going to put the ball on the ground. It is recovered by the Horns, and that brings up 4th and 1. Arch puts the ball on the ground. Thankfully, we jump on it. And we're going to hit a receiver over the middle. That's Ryan Wingo. First down. Arch taking off again. A lot of room for Manning. Not sliding again. Thankfully, not fumbling this time. And it'll be 3rd and goal for the Longhorns. Arch Manning looking for his first passing touchdown of 2025. Here's the snap. Throwing across to a diving DeAndre Moore Jr. Touchdown, Longhorns. Let me hear the cannon. Pow. We're not at home, unfortunately. But 10-0, pending the point after. That's a really, really good drive. And we'll take a second look at this. That's great anticipation to hit DeAndre Moore coming back across the field in the rain. Diving catch. It was perfect. That's just how we drew it up. Streak post on that left side. And we might have it over the top. Arch leading the receiver. And Mosley can't make the catch. Had it in his grasp and could not reel it in. And we're going to move back into the hurry up. Still 2 timeouts. Don't necessarily need to use them right now. Could try to get something over the middle of the field here. At the college level, first down, stop the clock briefly. Stop the what? DeAndre Moore Jr. shoving his down Ohio State something. It is 19 seconds to go here in the first half. That clock is ticking, though. And that is batted down at the line. 14 seconds. That is not where we wanted to go with the ball. And we still had positioning, and it's still intercepted. Wanted to hit Y, just didn't. Hit the X button instead, and that is an interception for Arch Manning, but it's not Arch's fault. I just got a feeling it wasn't. Let's take a second look at this. Malik Hartford with the pick. Stepping up, taking a big hit. And it was just short arm by the receiver. We'll start the second half with the ball, but that was not really that bad of a pick. I did want to hit Y, so that's on me a little bit. A lot of it, maybe even. But man, the receiver had position and just, for some reason, short-armed it as Arch is going to take off and scramble for a bunch. The problem with playing on the road is the buttons go away, and I have TikTok brain now. I'm so forgetful. The short-term memory loss is so real. I'll call the play, see the buttons, bang. They disappear. I don't even know what buttons are on the Xbox controller at that point. It's impossible to know. Return at the field and run with Arch again. Only a moderate gain in store. Sounds like more passing it is. Don't know any of the buttons. Okay. They pop up after a while if you don't do anything. Maybe. It's a good route. That's good timing. Mosley makes the catch. Yeah, we got to bounce back after the interception and throw another touchdown. That would be ideal. I don't love these matchups, though. I don't think we've got the talent to win individually. DeAndre Moore did not hear the adjustment. I don't know. I don't have any idea what route he's running. He's not really going to have the speed a lot of the time to actually outrun the coverage. As we're going to try to throw inside. That's going to be caught inside the 5. What a seed from Cooper's seed. What? 3rd and goal. RPO could be good here. Just going to hand that off. Wisner looking for space and finds the end zone. You know what mark of a good quarterback? Unselfish play. Unselfish. Don't need an Arch touchdown. We just need a touchdown, and it's Trey Wisner who finds the end zone. It's a good spot. 17-7 Texas. Trying for the upset, although Texas is ranked #1 here in the game, so maybe not an upset, but also it's the national championship winning team week 1 on the road. Looking to get on the run with Arch. There's just so much room for Manning. And Arch stiff-arming towards midfield. That's a great run. So no major mistakes. Get it out to the tight end. There's Jack. Get up the field. We're going to enter Ohio State territory. Moving the ball pretty well here. This is likely your final play of the third quarter. And we're looking at one of the tight ends to do something here. And that's open. There's Jordan Washington. 2nd and inches as we start the fourth quarter. This has been a pretty good game, to be honest. Played fairly well in the rain, on the road, battling adversity. Look at all the different targets to all the different players. This is not just force-feeding anybody. This is really distributing the ball around, playing to the play and not the player. 4th and 2. Better snap this ball. Oh, you got to catch that. I mean, you simply have to catch that. I think going for it there is the right call. But we just need to catch that. Ohio State does score a touchdown. They've got 3 timeouts, 1:25 to play. The field goal would have made it 20-14 right now, meaning if Ohio State gets the football back in the same situation, they would win the game with a touchdown, 21-20. Whereas, like in this scenario, you know, field goal ties, forces overtime. But I do think we're less likely to lose in regulation because I think they're less likely to play for the touchdown because they don't need it. That's like my whole point about why you don't really necessarily want to go up by 6 late, ever. And I'm going to stay true to that philosophy as Trey Wisner brings us 2 yards closer to a victory. The best player on the team. And right now, I'm liking that to be Arch Manning. 4th and 2, game on the line. Quarterback draw. Arch takes off, slides, and gets it. First down, Texas. Victory formation. That is game over. Texas has gone out on the road, upset the Ohio State Buckeyes. I get where they're ranked in the game compared to where we're ranked. I get that. But 17-14, Texas with the victory. Arch Manning is your player of the game. Throws for over 200 yards, completing 70% of his passes, had a touchdown. Could have had multiple touchdowns. Big quarterback draw scramble for the win. So maybe not a scramble so much as it was a design run. But what a run it was. Patience to let the block set up to really sell the fake. And then bang, quarterback draw. Texas wins. A decent stat line from Arch. 24 of 34 and then rushing 9 for 64. Did fumble the ball. It's okay. And Trey Wisner didn't really do a whole lot, but he didn't have to. It's the Arch Manning show here, whether it's in Austin or Columbus or pick a city. At week 8 now, we are 5-1. Crushed San Jose State 58-10. Arch, opposing quarterback, not so great. Arch, definitely better. 264 yards passing, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. Added 74 yards rushing. And the playstyle, in order to keep Arch, we need a B. Currently, we have a C. So, his playstyle is probably passing yards. I guess we're going to need a few more of those, as he may not have had to do all that much against UTEP. 302 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also added 48 yards on the ground with a long of 7. Still not finding the end zone as a runner up to this point, but maybe that changes against Sam Houston. Arch goes 320 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, was picked off, 31 of 43 through the air. And then rushing, just 5 rushes for 20 yards. It was really a big Trey Wisner day. So he had 127 yards, 8.5 per carry. CJ Baxter found the end zone 4 times. Just an annihilation of Sam Houston. Against the Gators, another big Texas win as Manning outduels Lagway. Could be saying that for a long time to come. Who knows? I don't know. 2 touchdowns, 270 yards passing. And then rushing, added 30 yards on the ground before inexplicably losing this game. How does that even possibly happen? John Mateer with an incredible game. Arch didn't play especially badly or great. 248 through the air, 2 touchdowns. 6 for 9 on the ground. Nice, but not so nice. As we'll look to bounce back after the first loss of the season. You got Kentucky. I think we're going to jump in for Vanderbilt, maybe. And then at Georgia is going to be a really, really tough one. Arkansas is good in the game. A&M, final game of the year, could be tough. I will say auto recruiting has been going crazy with the offensive line recruits. Got a 5-star left tackle in Lawrence Floyd. How about a 4-star guard, a 3-star guard? Currently going after a center. That one doesn't look like it's going so well. But the current problem is playing style. So we need passing yards per game. And currently just not doing enough here at Texas. It's all about offensive passing yards per game. And unless you're a pure runner, I suppose. And, I mean, 270 is just not enough. Well, I didn't jump in for the Vanderbilt game, and Vanderbilt won. 40-37. What are we doing here? Disappointing. 220 yards and a touchdown as long as we keep at this pace. Arch is going to be in the portal. Need to throw for a lot more yards than this. Touchdown and a pick. I mean, it seems like Arch is throwing about an interception a game. Maybe not quite that rate, but it's disappointing. Against Mississippi State, 318 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Okay, I wasn't familiar with your game. Arch with the best game of his collegiate career, and that obviously did not continue against Vanderbilt because threw for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And was it the defense? They really stifled the rushing attack. We just allowed too many points. Didn't pressure the quarterback very much. I mean, you allow Vanderbilt to score 40, you do probably deserve to lose. And we're going to need a big bounce back on the road at number 4, Georgia. That is not a great draw for us. Georgia is a really, really talented team. They're going to be incredibly tough to beat, but I think we can do it. It's a tough environment to play in. Rank number 4 throughout college football. Tell me that's a nice completion. Let's go. CJ Baxter out of the backfield. It was going to be a tight window, but we are able to hit it. Bringing up 1st and 10, where we want to be living in. Oh, there's pressure. It's just nothing getting picked up. And Arch, severe risk of injury, -5 speed, his right leg took a big shot on that sack. And in fact, Arch is out of the game in favor of a backup, not a real player. The defense does hold the Bulldogs to just 3. Arch still playing a little bit banged up. We're going to try a screen. Timing on that was not good. Arch still with high risk of injury. We're going to be a little limited offensively, but nothing too bad. But man, this offensive line cannot handle the Georgia rush. Unfortunately, we have seen that before. And Arch is finding out it is not great. Throwing it up for Jack Andrees, though. He makes the catch. He's open down the sideline. Finally brought down inside the 30, but a huge gain for the Texas offense just when we needed it. Hit Ryan Wingo. Turn up the field. Let's go, Ryan. Oh, he's going to find the end zone. Oh, no, maybe just a yard or 2 short. -4 speed. It's a little tough, but you can play with it as DeAndre Moore Jr. will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns. We are on the board. I'm hoping Andrews could be a really nice player for Texas. Transfer from Cal. We're going to let that fly towards Wingo. That was close, but he couldn't make the catch. And 4th and 2, I think we will. The only thing potentially holding us back is the current mobility of Arch Manning, but we're just going to try to surpass that, bypass that, and can't. I was red the entire way. I thought we found a great hole in the defense, but man, that was really, really good coverage. take a second look at that, because I was looking at the linebacker the whole way. Moore comes across the field. Like, I thought we had it. Throw in behind 3. CJ Allen, a really, really good player. And Harris just jumped right in front. That is really good defense, I feel like. Really good baiting. Just tough timing for us. I want one of these big-time throws. Let us have time to launch something down the field and make a big impact. Arch on the move. Throwing it. There it is. There's a big-time play. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Longhorns. Arch uncorked a bomb. Rolling out to his right. Against the pressure. Doesn't matter. Dime from Arch Manning. Finding the fictional Emmett Mosley. Arch with an absolute dart to the 35-yard line, and then it was just a race to the end zone, and Mosley was not going to lose it. Longhorns take the lead, 41 seconds to play in this first half. It's been a good first half. Maybe not perfect, obviously, but could have been a lot worse. We're going to air it out again, and that one fluttered, but it's actually going to be caught. Mosley making a really nice grab. 35 seconds on the clock. The clock is ticking. Still 3 timeouts. Thought about a timeout after that play. And we're just going to call one here. Throw to the tight end. Oh, that's a great ball. Andrews makes the catch. Touchdown, Longhorns. Hook him. Can I get a hook him in the chat? Dude, that's a great ball. It's the pass lead to the back shoulder, where Andrews is able to turn around, locate the football. Yeah, perfect. Just a perfect ball. And that could potentially lead to a big upset here. There's plenty of time left. Got an 11-point lead and the football here in half number 2. Where we try to put them away. Might lean on the running game a little bit. Arch try to throw a shoulder. I mean, this corner on the left side, the boundary should be in absolute hell right now. He's got to get cooked. Bomb, uncorked, and it's intercepted. I put him on a streak. He ran a post. Did he not hear it? Big interception for the Dogs. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, this is the easiest touchdown of all time, yet KJ Bolden comes from Narnia to intercept this pass. I promise you, I tried to put him on a streak. You saw me try to make the adjustment. Did he just not hear it because of the crowd? They can't be that loud. 2nd and 10. Andrews on the move, wide open. Gotta hit him. They're not accounting for the tight end, and he's got good speed. Arch Manning over 300 yards passing, has been intercepted twice. I don't like that, obviously. We're just going to abuse that. The tight end is open every time. Wingo in motion. He's going to get the ball, and this should be an easy Ryan Wingo touchdown. It's going to be 28-10 Horns, and I am horned up. I meant my horns are up. I may have misspoke there. 4:14 to play. Foot still on the gas pedal as Andrews is having a career day, showing Georgia that maybe they're not tight end you, even though they have been lately. Texas now. Gunnar Helm. Jatavion Sanders. Jack Andrews now. Soon to be Amari Winston. And then, all time, you can find some great names. Bo Scaife. Yeah, work back to the ball, Ryan. Or DeAndre Moore Jr. Did I say Bo Scaife? Jeff Swaim. David Thomas was good at Texas. But I think probably the big one's Jermichael Finley, right? As we're going to find the tight end again. Am I missing a tight end? I would never. Second and goal. Wingo in motion. I think they were ready for it. We're just going to hand it off. CJ Baxter, touchdown. Arch throwing a block. How's that taste, KJ Bolden? How do you like them apples? 35-10 Horns. This is a blowout. Defense has played great. And the offense has mostly played great. Obviously, we've had our moments, but I mean, look at these points. You can't hate this. Look at Arch. That's a warrior. 3rd down and 7. Game pretty much over. Stat padding at this point. Well, Georgia had absolutely no answer. Arch throws for 385, 3 touchdowns, no other stat worth mentioning there. Also had 14 yards on the ground. Now that's a performance. Emmett Mosley, 2 for 114. Wingo only had 1 catch for 27, but it was Endries that had 200 yards receiving. Did drop the ball, but that's okay when you win 35-17. How about a little home game action against Arkansas? Run up the score here. Big Heisman moment, potentially, for Arch Manning incoming. Finally, a home game here, right? Every meaningful game has been on the road, and that's kind of how it is for Texas this season. It's a lot of tough road games, but these are the big ones in front of the home crowd where you need to win these. Texas cannot afford a home loss this year. You just can't do it. When you play Ohio State on the road and Georgia on the road, you can't afford a home loss. When, famous last words, but no one that impressive is on the schedule, the home schedule. They're just not. I mean, there are some tough teams that could beat you, no question, but I mean, no one on the level of a Georgia or an Ohio State. So it is like a lot of gimmies to open the year outside of that Ohio State game. But Texas historically has had trouble converting those easy ones sometimes, as Arch is going to go down for a loss. Interception by Michael Taff. What a player. That gives us basically, I'll say we're in the green zone, but basically a red area possession here. Oh, never mind. Arch fumbles. I mean, blindsided is not even a word to describe that. It was worse than that somehow. This is going to be housed. DJ Campbell can't catch him. Arkansas touchdown. I mean, was a block even attempted on this play? Just dropped back to throw and got obliterated. Nope, unblocked. Endries is in the chip, but doesn't. That screws up the right tackle. And then, oh my goodness. That's not really blindside because it's Arch is really kind of looking right at it. I didn't see it. That's for sure. And I don't know where we could have gone with the ball other than very quickly to the flat, but I don't even think we would have gotten a throw off. That is a brutal lapse for the offensive line. This game is not exactly going to plan. And, you know, the temptation is just to rip a big play to get back in it. But Arkansas seems pretty aware that's what we were wanting to do. That was Quintavious Scandrett on the field. He did something. Name popped up. It's an interesting one. We're going to get on the move. They're going to have to take off with Arch. He's got just enough speed. And he'll dive ahead as to avoid the collision that a slide would have given us from behind. That's actually a nice change that they made. Because that was always, you try to slide and suddenly you're fumbling. Oh, nice yard. Good timing. Gonna hit DeAndre Moore. Got to get in a rhythm here. And I think that's important for a college quarterback. I mean, really, I guess for any quarterback. Get in rhythm. Hit some easy throws, and I think that actually will open up the more difficult throws. It's got to get in rhythm. Arch took a shot there, but delivered a good ball. 3rd and 5. Endries, it's knocked down at the line. Why are you jumping, idiot? It looks like the CPU actually decided to go for it in that spot, and it didn't work. Stepping up. Arch getting a nice block from CJ there. Maybe this is just going to be a really big rushing game. Crowd getting rowdy. We definitely need your help. Oh my goodness. We need the offensive line's help, that's for sure. I don't really like these passing plays. Time that up. Maybe a touch early, but Wingo makes the catch. Get some comebacks on the field. Oh, it was okay. Not having a good game against Arkansas, that's for sure. What is that, dude? Just completely just didn't think the corner would ever play that. He knew what we were running. He committed to stopping that particular route. So good on him. 3rd and 13. Sacked. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Just feels like they're not blocking. And you know what? They didn't block him again. Our defense is really doing everything they can. They've allowed 7 points. Oh my. We're just not going to win this one. That much is becoming pretty obvious. This is just not going to be a winnable game. We're going to drop a game to Arkansas. No, it's a bad attitude. We need big plays. That's a good start. But they don't necessarily have to be big plays because, manufactured deep shot. Be big plays like that where we just get the ball in the hands of a playmaker and they make a play. They're blitzing. Man, we can't do anything against the pressure. That time they actually sent a lot. It's a pretty good result for us. Stick to the same play. We're forced out already. Arch taking off. We had injuries maybe, but we probably just are not able to make that throw. So it's easy to say, oh, he had enough space, but I don't really think that's a touchdown ever. That is, though. CJ Baxter into the end zone. Dart up the seam from Arch. Tight ends and running backs. That's the offense right now. Receivers not really playing as big of a factor. But they want us to win this game. It's 14-11. Suddenly we're right back in it. One score can just change so much. And now it feels like not only we have a chance, it feels like we could be in the driver's seat. Gonna turn up the tempo and find the end zone. There we go. It's tight end town. That's Austin, Texas. This is gonna be wide open for injuries. Oh, that is a great screen. Maybe not fully legal. 3rd and 4. Taking off with Arch. Arch Manning, stiff arming, rushing touchdown for Manning to take the lead. Get loud, Austin. DKR exploding as we take the lead late. Arch on the scramble. It doesn't get better than that. And the stiff arm for good measure. Get off me! Scandritt. But the game is over. Texas comes from behind to defeat Arkansas. Is Arch your player of the game? Sure looks like he could be. That was a big one. 285 through the air, 2 touchdowns. Fought back, battled adversity. Figured out ways to be successful. And we got it done. And Texas will play Alabama in the SEC Championship. All right. It's going to be another big test. Can Arch Manning bring an SEC championship to Texas? Now, Texas played in the SEC championship their first year in the conference. I mean, completely unknown territory last year, but Texas managed to do it. Didn't win the SEC championship, was obviously in a pretty good position to do so. Just couldn't do it in the end. Georgia is such a tough team. And this time it's Alabama. 2nd and 3. Wingo bubble screen, just not really there. It's a big moment early in the game. 4th and 1. Gotta have it. Going for it against one of the best defenses in college football, and we're gonna convert. Man, we gotta stop holding the football. Bad things are happening. Arch manages to get some of it back, but you can see 4 rushes, negative 18 yards. This Bama pressure has been pretty legit so far. And it's 3rd and 9. We're just going to throw that. That's got to be caught, and it is. Overall, this has been a great drive. We've just been sacked too many times. Arch on the move, has good speed, but not good enough. 3rd and goal. Slant, open, can't hit it. 4th and goal. Could play for the tie, but I think we go back. I think we play for the lead. Somebody's getting open. Slant. There it is! Touchdown, DeAndre Moore. It pays to play aggressive. 7-3 Horns. Texas does get points up on the board, though. And we are into half number 2. This is where we put Alabama away. Is Arch back out there at quarterback? He is, and he's holding his back. He's not in great condition, but he's going to battle. He's going to step up, avoid pressure, and slide, that's for sure. Slant wide open. Get in there. Mosley touchdown. That should do it. It's got to do it. Victory formation. Is Arch capable of doing this, or is his bruised knee going to hurt too much? Looks like he's all right. Texas has won the SEC championship, defeating Alabama 21-9. Big-time game. Arch battled through pain, through injury, through adversity. Was 21 of 28 for 224, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and was sacked a lot. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman, my guy. He's a guy to look out for in 2025. Cal transfer. He's got really good size and athleticism, just like Arch Manning, and has had some wow moments on tape at Cal. So who knows what this guy's capable of doing at Indiana. Could be a good season. Indiana could be one to watch out for in the Big Ten, as Jack Endries has won the Mackey Award winner for best tight end in the nation. 80 catches for 953 yards and 5 touchdowns. When you're a tight end that goes for 200 in a game, yeah, I think you're going to be in consideration for the Mackey. It'll be a rematch against Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. See if Arch can continue his great season. Unfortunately, he was not in consideration for the Heisman. Cade Klubnik was just doing too much at Clemson. Colton Joseph at Old Dominion. You know, a lot of these teams just throw the ball a little bit more often. But if you look at the stat line, I mean, Arch had a really, really good year. Played in 13 games up to this point. 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns to 8 picks. I mean, that's a good line. I don't know if that's going to win you the Heisman, but that's a good line. Rush for over 300 yards and a touchdown. That's not a lot to write home about. Playing for the Sugar Bowl, college football playoff action. Texas, of course, won the SEC championship, number 2 team in the nation, first round bye, and trying to go back-to-back against Alabama here. Can we beat them 2 games in a row? Well, it's a close game right now, 14-13, 17-13. Texas still narrowly ahead, and we've got the football. 2:38 to play. Alabama out of timeouts. A first down is going to end this one. Can we get it? Arch looking fairly healthy. Had some time off. It's going to be 3rd and short. That's going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. Arch has been picked off in this game. And on 3rd and 1, a first down ends it. Rifle this to DeAndre Moore instantly. Nope, they kind of played it. Didn't really have a choice but to hand it off. Did not want to throw a pick 6 in this spot. I'll tell you that for free. But it would not matter. Texas wins the Sugar Bowl and is moving on to the college football playoff semifinal. Really nice win over Ryan Williams and the Tide. We'll try to continue that momentum. Texas now will have made 3 straight college football playoff semifinal games, and they finally win one. And it'll be the Miami Hurricanes in the Fiesta Bowl. College football playoff semifinal. This will be an interesting one. If you look at the CFP bracket, you know, Miami hasn't had the toughest run ever. I get Indiana had a good season, but, you know, they're not one of the powerhouses you think of. At the top of the bracket, Oregon, Ohio State. We've actually seen that one before. I'm going to predict Ohio State comes out on top. as we will try to beat the Hurricanes. Let's hope this is an easy win. We're off to a great start. 10-0 Texas. Miami does get on the board, and they actually take the lead here. And we might want a little bit of a drive here with Arch. Seeing if we can't take that lead right back. 14-10. That's just... Well, we've got some unfortunate news. Jordan Washington and Jack Endries are both basically out for the season. Endries with an upper arm fracture. Jordan Washington with a torn rotator cuff. So we're down to just Amari Winston on the depth chart here. That is a brutal look. We're going to air it out. Up the seam. Touchdown to Mosley. What a throw from Manning. Beautiful ball. And that is how you take the lead back in style. Just straight up the seam. Good ball. I mean, you can't really put it in a better location. You get a little bit scared when you're throwing in there because you just think, okay, is he going to turn around and find the football? But nope. Eyes trained in on the receiver. And it's Emmett Mosley with back-to-back catches. One of them, of course, going for a big touchdown. 23 yards. Manning put it right where it needed to be. See if this defense can step up here. 24-14 Texas, 27-14, and that is the Fiesta Bowl. Texas is headed back to the national championship for the first time in 20 years. Texas won the national championship with that guy at quarterback in 2005. Here in the 2025 college football season, Arch Manning has led Texas back to the promised land. Singing the eyes of Texas. Gotta love it. And Arch Manning has set the Texas single-season passing yards record. Well, that is a pretty good season at quarterback, and maybe the passing touchdowns record as well. Probably closing in. Arch Manning over 4,000 passing yards. However, in 2008, Colt McCoy threw 34 passing touchdowns. Arch can't be far behind that. In fact, we'll take a look just what he would need. Ooh, just what he'd need. Well, needs 2 passing touchdowns to be the single season sole record holder. He'll have time to do it. National championship, 4 quarters, yet 2 passing touchdowns would be nice. And I mean, it'll probably happen with a win, but obviously we're playing for that win. Semi-final rematch from last year in the college football playoff, and rematch from week 1. Texas, Ohio State, national championship on the line. Arch is also up to a 93 overall. He's got gold resistance, gold step up, silver sleight of hand, and dot, and gold on time. Improved accuracy when throwing with anticipation is an interesting one. I'm wondering how exactly that works in the game. Well, I feel like we've been able to throw with anticipation pretty well, so maybe it's doing its job. I'm not sure. Got 2 skill points here for Arch, but not going to be spending those right now. We're going to be jumping into the Natty and seeing if Arch Manning can bring Texas back to the top of college football. Ohio State's an 88 overall. That seems beatable. We're back in on offense nearly immediately. Quick 3 and out by the Buckeyes, but look at this punt. On the 6-yard line. Maybe the 6.5-yard line. Arch going to step up. There is a spy, but he's not fast enough for Manning. Look at Arch. Vanilla Vic. Been a long time since that call out. But Arch earned it. What a scramble. They're going to blitz. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. That's the name of the game. Quick throws. We can operate within the quick game. Ohio State's going to have a tough time. If they want to blitz, if they want to protect against the deep ball, they're going to have problems underneath. We're going to make sure of it. Keep blitzing. We're going to keep taking advantage. And does that maybe open up a shot off play action? I think it does. We're going to jump in front of that. DeAndre Moore makes the catch. DeAndre Moore Jr. flips into the end zone. Texas takes the lead. Sometimes you got to manufacture a big-time play, and that's exactly what happened there. DeAndre Moore with the touchdown. Arch navigating the pocket. Stepping up, stepping out. and making a really, really good throw. Safety had no idea what hit him. Stepping up. They forgot about Manning. You can't do that, Buckeyes. Already got 50 yards rushing. I think 1 incompletion as a passer. We've been all over Ohio State. There's a little pitch. Wingo. Nowhere to go. Football back after a missed kick. 55 seconds left to extend our lead in the first half. Got to take advantage. Feels like they were ready for the comeback, so we'll just check down. You can step out of bounds here and actually save us a timeout if you want to. Looks like he did. There is a rule where if you... maybe this is not in college football. I feel like it would be, but maybe it's just NFL. Where if you are stepping out, not going forwards, the clock actually keeps running. So if you're going backwards and you get knocked out of bounds, that clock does not stop. So that's potentially important to know. At least at the NFL level. We're just going to launch it deep. What do we have? Ooh, that would have been crazy. Fourth quarter. We have made it. Come on. 5 more minutes. And Arch Manning and Texas are national champions. Winston's wide open in the slot. I just don't know who's covering that. And if he does, it's a Trey Wisner touchdown in behind, maybe? Let's get it out there. Dart from Manning. Touchdown, Amari Winston. That's got to be the game. 20-10 Texas with 2 minutes to go. They're going to make it close. Just to give us victory formation on the logo at midfield. The Texas Longhorns are national champions. Arch Manning has brought a national championship to the University of Texas for the first time in 20 years. What an effort. Vengeance over the Ohio State playoff loss from a year before. Cue the Ryan Day clip.
Coach Ryan Day, Ohio State. I'm a Texas fan. I hate you.
Hoisted Sark. Where's Arch? Arch, he's got to be college football playoff national championship MVP. And he is. 171 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, completing nearly 82% of his passes. What a season this would be. I'd be all about it. I don't know if that is a surprise to anybody, but I would be all about it. Arch, by the way, with throwing for 2 passing touchdowns, has set the Texas single-season passing touchdown record. It really could not have been much better than this. A storybook ending, potentially, through the college career of Arch Manning. And there it is, single-season passing touchdowns record. Oh, Arch. Don't search Arch on Twitter, by the way. I've made that mistake after, or during Texas games. It's not football, I'll tell you that. That's not what comes up. That's my advice to you. Be specific. Search Arch Manning, Texas. Arch Manning may not even be enough. Arch Manning probably is enough. Definitely don't only do Arch. That's free advice. You should definitely use it. All right, players leaving. Arch Manning wants to be a 3rd-round pick. Will you stay? Nope. Arch Manning is leaving to the NFL. Wow. But the journey's not going to stop here, as Arch Manning is in Madden 25. We're going to see what team drafts him. Now, I did have to use a 2027 class, because let me tell you, I'm just going to be short and concise about this. That's redundant, but operating the file share on Madden 25 is one of the worst experiences of my life. That's not an exaggeration. I've been hit in the face with a pitch playing baseball, and I shattered my entire face, and I think I might prefer going through all that again. Multiple nose surgeries rather than trying to navigate the file share for 1 more second, because it's not optimized. It's absolutely terrible. It doesn't function whatsoever. You can't download. You can't search. Nothing works. We're having a great time here. We're having fun. We're going to see where Arch Manning goes. Who can even wait? Let's head straight to the draft. NFL draft time. Who will be the team that ultimately ends up selecting Arch Manning? He's projected to go top 5, although supposedly is only a round 1 to 2 talent. Will it be the Carolina Panthers? They end up going with South Carolina defensive end Dylan Stewart. Arch is not headed to the Panthers. They're happy with Bryce Young, but will he maybe be a Las Vegas Raider? No. They go with Jeremiah Smith. Keep in mind, these are 2027 eligible players. The only class I could find with Arch Manning that was even somewhat functional was a 2027 class. So pretend Arch didn't declare it like he did in the video. Will he be a Ram? Arch Manning to LA. Well, that could increase the star power going to one of the biggest markets in the United States. He's looking thick. I'll tell you, the Arch Manning's been eaten in the offseason. Let me tell you. But he is officially a Los Angeles Ram. Unbelievable. And I think that is a good spot to end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Could we play through Arch's NFL career? Yes, we absolutely could, but that is a video for a different time. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. I just poked myself in the eye. Cool.